I'm here today with Dr. Yaron Brook. He is the president of the Ayn Rand Society, and he promotes objectivism, which is Ayn Rand's philosophy. Welcome, Yaron.
Thanks for having me on.
Yaron, what is objectivism?
Objectivism is the philosophy that Ayn Rand articulated in her writings, and many people are familiar with Atlas Shrugged and Fountainhead, but she also wrote quite a lot of essays on philosophy. So it's the philosophy of Ayn Rand, and it basically states that reality is what it is. We are able to know reality through the use of reason, that in morality, the standard should be our own life, should be self-interest rather than altruism or self-sacrifice, other people, and that politically we should be free. She was an advocate of individual rights and of capitalism.
But is that libertarianism? Because you're going to be talking about libertarianism as well.
Yeah, so libertarianism is a big tent kind of unified under this idea of non-initiation of force. Leave people alone, don't use force against them. But it varies. There are anarchists who are libertarians and who believe in no government and competing police forces and competing governments. I certainly disagree with them vehemently, but they are part of that big libertarian tent. Then there are libertarians who believe in limited government, government limited to the protection of individual rights, the protection, police force, the military, judiciary, very similar in that sense in their politics to objectivists in terms of the role of government. But then there are also libertarians who believe in that, but also that the government needs to intervene here or there and there where it's good for the common good, or if it maximizes some kind of social utility. Friedman believed that there might need to be a central bank, for example, or there might need to be some safety net. Hayek certainly believed that there were ways in which the government could intervene to encourage competition and so on. Antitrust, they might believe in antitrust laws. So that whole category, I think, falls under libertarians. And today, I think, with conservative libertarians, they're more of the mixture, right? They're more of limited government, but it's okay for government to do certain things.
You talked about disagreeing with the four pillars. It's something we've talked about in this course in prior sessions. Could you kind of go into that a little bit?
Sure. So the four pillars were freedom, tradition, rule of law, and religion. Now, I certainly agree that the foundational principle in politics is freedom. I mean, I would put it in terms of individual rights, and I think that's the foundational principle on which this country was founded. But that, to me, is it. That's the foundational principle in politics. It relies on certain principles in ethics and it relies on reason, but that's it. So the other three pillars, I think, are illegitimate. Certainly tradition is an illegitimate principle. Who cares about tradition? The question is what is right and what is wrong, what is true and what is false, what is good and what is evil. If somebody was doing something 100 years ago or 1,000 years ago, it doesn't make it good. Even if it survived to today, it doesn't make it good. People can do horrible things over and over and over again for many millennium, and yet it's still bad. So I believe in truth. Individual rights are truth. So I don't believe in tradition. We should evaluate everything before reason. We should look at every human activity and evaluate whether it's good or not. Rule of law. It depends on the law. So certainly to the extent that the law protects freedom, we should have rule of law and we should follow the law, and it's a foundational principle under freedom, but not separate and equal to freedom. What about the rule of law in a totalitarian state or in a statist state where the law is oppressing people, where the law is the primary way in which my freedom is being violated? Do I then have to respect the law? Do I then bound by the rule of law? I don't think so. And third, religion.
Fourth, religion.
The fourth is religion, that's right. Third was rule of law. So fourth, religion. I don't think religion plays a role in politics. So I'm a big believer in a wall of separation, in the Jeffersonian idea. There should be no religion in politics. The politics is about freedom. We can debate religion in epistemology and metaphysics about whether God exists, but religion has no role in politics. Again, we should evaluate political decisions based on one principle only, whether they protect individual rights or not. That's it. And religion has nothing to say about that and is irrelevant to the political discussion.
Dr. Yaron Brook, thank you.
My pleasure.